Hey MJ fam, today's episode is a special one that I have been dreaming about for a long time. And honestly, I still feel like I'm dreaming. Today, we're going to be talking to Ola Ray. Now, you guys, we all know her as the leading lady in Michael Jackson's legendary Thriller short film, but her story goes so much deeper. Born in St. Louis and raised between California and Japan, Ola started performing at a young age and went on to become an international model and actress, appearing in campaigns for Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Shiseido, and in films like 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop. She's also an author and advocate who's used her voice to inspire healing and empowerment. Her memoir, The Thrill of It All, shares with us her incredible life and career in Hollywood. And you guys, if you're a fan of Michael Jackson or just love iconic moments in pop culture and music, this episode is going to be for you. Get a snack, get comfy, and join me in welcoming Miss Ola Ray to the show. Hi, Ola.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so excited to be here.
This is like a dream come true for me because I grew up watching you on this tape so many times. My parents showed this to me at a very young age. And it was one of those
How old were you?
I was like 5 or something.
Okay, because I tell people not to show this video to kids like 3 and under.
Okay.
Because I think it traumatizes them. But that was the whole thing,
Yeah.
of the way that I, performed it when I was scaring people with that scream. I was saying to myself, well, if I can scare myself, then I know that I'm going to be able to scare everybody else. But I do not suggest anyone 3 and under to watch it.
Yes. Well, you hear that, folks. Make sure. Because you're right, actually. My sister, who's
Yes.
probably going to be watching this, she used to run into the other room when Michael would turn into the werecat and you'd be screaming. And I would be like, come on, watch it. So you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yes, it's so great to see you. And it's just, this is the time of year, I think, when a lot of people are watching Thriller and taking it in. So I'm really excited not only to hear about your time with Michael and filming Thriller, but also about you and your life and some of the things that you've triumphed over and what you're up to now. So let's get started.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. So you actually, before Hollywood and Thriller, you were modeling in Japan. Tell us about young Ola. Who were you?
Okay, well, young Ola, how far back? Do you want to go back from when I was like 4 years old? My dad was taking me into taverns and I was dancing for the people while we were listening to the jukebox and people were throwing money on the floor. Young Ola, that young Ola?
Yes, tell us about the beginning.
That was when it all began. My dad instilled that in us. We come from a family of 9, just like Michael. I have 6 brothers and 2 other sisters. And so he would have us all get together when they would have people come over and we would be the entertainment. And so we thought we were the Jackson 5, right? So anyway, that's where it kind of all started with him, with us performing for relatives at home and then him sneaking me off to the tavern and having me dance for everyone there with them throwing the money on the floor. So that was the beginning.
Okay.
And then once we went to Japan, I was 15 years old, and the school that my stepdad was in the Air Force. So the school that we had just went into, they were holding auditions because they were looking for Soul Train dancers, right?
Oh.
And so I was like telling my mom, it's like, oh my God, it's like, you got to let me go up for that, right? So my sister and I have a set of twin brothers. We went and auditioned for it and got it. And a month later, we were singing and dancing and doing commercials and flying all over Japan to all the different cities around Japan. And so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's where it all began.
And we actually have a photo of one of your modeling photos from when you were in Japan. And this is such a beautiful photo. And Ola, I didn't tell you this, but I actually lived in Japan for 1 year.
Oh my God, where?
In Tokyo.
Where in Tokyo?
In Otaku. It's by Meguro. I'm trying to think of like some of the other big
Shinjuku,
close to Shinjuku.
Akasaka,
Yes.
Nagoya,
Yes.
Ginza.
Yes. All of the places.
Yes.
So like when I read that part in your book, which we'll talk about later, I was just like, oh my gosh, she lived in Japan too.
So, Nihongo Skoshi desu?
Hi, Skoshi hanasemasu.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I asked her if she could speak Japanese.
Yes.
And she told me a little bit.
Yes.
That's really amazing.
Yeah. So, okay, so you're in Japan, you're doing your modeling and acting thing, and then at some point you come back, you come to Hollywood.
Yeah. Once our time was up, we went to Washington State. And so I was going to go to college.
Mhm.
I went up to Washington State. I was gonna major, or, maybe do some art graphics or whatever. And then I just decided, no, I'm going to Hollywood. I have an aunt that lives in LA, and she told me I can come. So I went home, packed my clothes, and I left the next day. And once I got back, once I got to LA,
Mhm.
I went to school. I went to college, and I took ballet and um, theater and piano and voice. So, I kind of brushed up on what I wanted to do, and then from there, I went to Playboy. But the idea came from my Japanese agent because he had told me, because I had been doing high fashion modeling in Japan.
Okay.
And so he said, well, when you get back to the United States, you're not going to be able to, because I wasn't tall enough, because I'm only 5'4". So
Oh.
he suggested to me, he said, Ola, just use it as a stepping stone. Just, go do Playboy and get back into the industry. And
Mhm.
so that's what I did.
And so you actually though became a centerfold, which is kind of a big deal, right?
Mhm.
Like not everybody gets to do that.
I walked straight in there.
Uh-huh.
They had their building on Sunset Boulevard, and I walked in there with my pictures and gave it to them, and they said, "Oh my God, okay," because I guess they hadn't had a black girl in a long time. So they said, "We'll call you," and they called me, and I went in and we did our test shots in Chicago. They flew me out there, and afterwards, when I got back, they showed the pictures to Hef, and I got the call that I got it.
Wow. And
Mhm.
it's so interesting because I loved reading about that time in your life in your book. And just talking about the mansion and like just, you said it was kind of like a fabulous.
For me, it was really fun
Yeah.
because Hefner was like a father image for me. Um, There were a lot of amazing parties, a lot of amazing people. Anybody who was anybody went to the Playboy Mansion for like New Year's or any of the
Yes.
holidays, right?
I
So I
remember seeing
mean,
that.
I saw that movie with the other playmates when they were talking about the other curricular activities that goes on up there, and I never knew anything about that, and so I don't know. I was never a part of that part of it.
Mhm.
I was only a part of the good part of it.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like
I wasn't I wasn't subjected to that at that time, but we'll talk about when that time did come,
got it.
because I did experience a lot of stuff in Hollywood, but it wasn't then.
Yeah.
It wasn't at the
Oh.
Playboy Mansion.
Okay. See, it's interesting though to hear your perspective on that because sometimes now, especially now with like Me Too and a lot of things that have come out like that documentary, we think like, sometimes the image is like that was all bad, but no, like it's good to hear that you had fun times and
Yeah, at the
that it,
Playboy Mansion, it was all good. Yeah, but I have my horror stories with the Me Too as well, but we'll get there.
yes, yes. Well, well, so okay, so at the time you were one of the few Black women featured in Playboy, and that was groundbreaking. Looking back, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like it's appreciated, understood more now than ever? Because I feel like there's an
Well,
openness.
for me, I never looked at it like the way people look at it here, because when I was doing modeling in Japan, sometimes because it was high fashion, we were showing a little skin or whatever. So when I did Playboy, I looked at it as art. I
Right.
looked at the poses that, because they didn't tell us, how to pose. So, it was up to us how we did it. And so all of my poses were cute to the side,
Right.
to the back. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I always looked at it as art. I never really looked at it as a bad thing.
And Playboy actually did kind of help you land Thriller, right? In a way, I know that
Yes.
so your agent told you to use it as a stepping stone, and like, hello, that's like the biggest leap that you could take, like to be in one of the most impactful music video short film ever. Like, that's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, Playboy was a great platform for me. After I did Playboy, I sponsored the hair care product, Classy Curl. Do you remember that?
Yes, Jerry Curl.
Yeah, the Jerry
product,
Curl.
right? Yes, and I think we have a picture of you. Look at
my
this.
God, yes. So I sponsored, I got a lot of work, behind after doing Playboy. I did the milk ad. I did tons of commercials. And my first video was with George Benson, "Give Me the Night," and with Quincy had hired me for that one. But yeah, I eventually got seen by, I believe, Mr. Landis of my issue, and that's how that all came about.
So, okay, now I'm so curious, and I know a lot of people are. Were you a fan of Michael Jackson before you got casted in the short
Of
film?
course, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, like I said, our family grew up listening to his music, and so we thought we were the Jackson Five. And I also included him in my Playboy as saying my favorite entertainer of all time.
What?
So yeah, of course, I was a big fan. Everybody was a big fan of Michael's. Come on now.
Yes, that's true. But like, maybe you kind of manifested it in a way by like writing that. Like,
I
that's
think
so.
it was, it was all in God's plan.
Yeah. Okay, so take me back to the audition. How did you first hear about the Thriller audition, or was it an audition? What was the process for that?
Okay, well, I had an agent at the time, and they didn't tell me what I was going in there for, but they told me I was going to meet with John Landis. So I go in there, and he's talking to me about what he's looking for, and he said he needs a girl to play two parts, one like from the 50s and another girl like modern day, and she's dating the same guy, and they're watching each other on the movie screen. So as he's explaining this to me, he turns around and he plays Michael's song Thriller. And I looked at him and I said, I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Is this for Michael?" I said, "You got to give it to me. You got to give it to me." And so I said, "But wait." I said, "But what about, the fact that I did Playboy?" I said, "I know he's Jehovah's Witness." And I said, "So is there going to be a problem?" And he said, "Well, now don't worry about it." He said, let me talk to him about it, you know. So
Wow.
I believed he showed it to him.
Yeah.
He had to.
Right, of course.
Had to. And knowing Michael, and the way I know Michael,
Mhm.
I'm sure he saw it.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that must have been like so surreal though to be in that meeting with John Landis and he puts that album on or that record on. Because at the time, and this is just context for people that might not know like what was going on at the time, the Thriller album was already out. This was the very last music video that he did, I believe, and the last single from that album. So all of those hit songs that we know, the Billie Jean, The Girl Is Mine, Beat It, that had already all been done and on the radio and on television. So that was already at the point where he was like, he's growing in popularity and everything like that. So that must have been surreal.
And then Thriller just hit the scene and exploded.
Yes.
I was not prepared. I did not know it was going to be like that. I have a funny story about when we were shooting in the downtown area, and the fans had found out where we were. And so Michael would go out and he would wave, and you can hear them screaming and everything. And then he would push me out there, and everyone would get really quiet.
Mhm.
And then he would do it again, and he'd push me again. And so he said, "But Ola, don't worry about it." He said, "Pretty soon, everybody gonna know who Ola Ray is."
Oh my gosh, I love that. Like,
Mhm.
and it's funny because I was watching before we got here. I was watching the making of Thriller, and I remember seeing that all those kids were out there waiting, like 300-400 people in the middle of the night, like
Yeah,
waiting to just get a glimpse.
they
So
were jumping on the rooftops.
what?
That made Michael a little uncomfortable.
The
He
roof?
was like, "We can use the boat." Yeah, they were on the rooftop. Michael's like, "Okay, we have our security. It's the security here because they're on the rooftop now." And so, yeah, that was kind of funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
He got a
can't.
little nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, what? And then I mean, yeah. I mean, Michael was always dealing with paparazzi and stuff like that, but I can only imagine like a private film set and then people are climbing on rooftops. That's got to be scary.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. So, Thriller. So, I want to know about what your first thought was when you actually learned that you got the part and like the night before. Like, how was the feeling? Like you knew
Um,
that you were gonna go.
okay. Well, John said he'll call in about 2 weeks, which he did. And so, yeah, of course, I got excited. I jumped up on my bed and I was jumping up and down. It's like, I'm getting ready to work with Michael. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. The first day we met,
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, was the night when they were actually doing the dance, the Thriller dance. And Michael
Iconic.
had sent a limo for me.
Okay.
And he had a chair with my name on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had me sit right in the front of them, and I watched them do that dance all night long. I was so
Wow.
excited. I had a front row seat to watching him in perfection.
Yes.
Yeah.
That must have been like so cool to sit and watch in person. Because I know that like when I watch 3D now, Thriller now in 3D and 4K, whatever, when I watch it in that definition, like I'm so moved because I'm like, wow, like not only with like the dancing, but even like with your acting and like with the chemistry with both of you
Aw.
that I'm gonna talk about later. I've been moved to tears recently when I've watched that, and when I've watched it in a big screen, theater setting. It's so impactful all these years later. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just
I mean, we shared something really special, and we knew we were putting a lot of love into it when we were shooting the scene. So, you know.
yes. Well, I do have a video clip that I want to show you. A couple clips. I want to show this first clip just to kind of take you back to that moment, to Thriller.
John came to the studio with like 30 photographs of different girls.
Okay, that
I
was
went in and
like
he
the
started telling me about Michael's video and playing
that
on
was
my
like the
computer, and I
second
had
day
this
when
huge
we
grin
had,
on my
to go,
face. I
we had to go in and
just
do our
stared at
little,
John Landis and had
to
this grin
just
on my face like,
see,
oh, you
what
gotta give it
John
to me.
Landis
I would
wanted
love
us to
to do
do.
it.
Our audition kind of like, but anyway, I was wearing that little Adidas top with no bra on. I thought I was too cute. I had my
Yes.
little black jeans on my 50s, slick with my little flat, shoes. So I don't know. I thought I was cute.
Yes, you were killing it, fabulous, like everything. I feel like every young girl watching that, we all like wanted to be like you. I remember like doing the walk and like practicing and stuff like that in the mirror. Like you just like, yeah, what you did was amazing and like so iconic.
Yeah. John was telling us, well, you can flirt with him. And he was telling Michael, okay, Michael, do something. This is your girlfriend. So have a good time with her. So that was really fun to be able to interact with him like that.
Yeah, and I think also if I'm correct, this was like the first time that Michael had a love interest on camera, like in a big music video. I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
he's had other girls, didn't he? Have like
I think you.
the Naomi. Was it Naomi?
Yeah, but you were the
Yeah,
first one.
Naomi.
First one though. First one was Ola Ray. Come on, Naomi. I think Naomi Campbell. You're right in the
Yeah.
'90s.
And then there was another girl.
Tatiana in the way you make
Oh,
me
Tatiana,
feel.
yeah. I
But
think she came after me.
But I think though, still
As
at the
far as-
timing,
Yeah.
timing in which he was now becoming really, really cemented as like the Michael Jackson, separate from the Jacksons and his brothers, and really cementing his own career. I think it's interesting because this was the first time that people were seeing Michael Jackson like interacting like that, with a woman on screen, and you see the chemistry. And I wanted to ask you, like, was the chemistry real? Because it looks so believable on camera.
No, it was definitely real. I mean, we were like staring into each other's eyes and smiling and laughing, and he was flirting and whispering in my ear, and it was fun. We had a good time together, and it was what you see is how we really felt at the time.
Wow. And was he like, okay, so you were a fan at that point, like we were watching him on television. How was he in real life? Like, what was his energy like? Was he the same as what you anticipated he'd be like?
Michael was so smart. He was so funny. I used to like sit and listen to him when he would have his business meetings, when he would be talking to all the people that work for him about buying the elephant bones or talking about, Marvel. He really wanted to do Marvel films. So I got a chance to see him. Jacqueline, what was it? Jacqueline, what's her last name? I can't think.
Jacqueline Onassis?
Yes. She came on the set.
Okay.
And was talking to Michael about the book that they were doing.
Yes.
The Moonwalk, I think.
Moonwalk, yes. His autobiography.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I got a chance to see him like that. And then he was always joking.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of each day, he would jump on top of his limo and put one hand in the air and grab his crotch and scream at the top of his lungs. He did this every night before we left. I mean, he was such a jokester.
I hear that a lot about Michael, that he was like into pranks and just like having fun on the set.
He was always jumping out trying to scare me, or he was always doing a little crazy stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long was the filming period that you were part of for Thriller?
We were together for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. And that, I'm assuming, I mean, I know that a lot of this was filmed during the nighttime, but I'm assuming a lot of this was all day, like from 7 a.m. or something,
it
right?
was from 7 to 12. Wow. Every day for 2 weeks. Oh my God, you don't even understand. I was in heaven every day. I'm like, oh my God. And I was telling John when I went to the audition, I said, look, I know how to handle Michael. You got to let me do it. I said, I'm not just like a regular fan. I said, nobody's going to be able to do it like me. I said, right. I can do this. I was like letting him know because, I wasn't like a craze fan. I was a professional. I've been in business for a long time.
Right.
So I'm letting him know I can do this. I got this. So
yeah. And you did. I mean, like, I love looking at pictures of you both behind the scenes too. I think we have a couple of pictures that we can look at. Let's see here. So this is the first one that we have.
This is my favorite picture of me and Michael in the car. That was like our first scene that we did. We were walking together. Yeah.
And then this.
I'm so serious listening to John, trying to get direction, making sure I'm doing what I needed to be doing. And there is Michael tickling my feet.
Oh.
He really he was a little shy at first, but once he started putting on that mask, whenever he would come out with that on, all of a sudden his he
was like a different personality.
He came out. He came
love
out of
it.
he came out a little bit, and this is when he was a little bit more forward with me, touching on me or tickling me, or you know what I'm saying.
The mask gave him that confidence to like go for it.
Yes. But then after it all, then he was like that with me all the time.
Oh.
So I guess, in the beginning he was like a little nervous or whatever, getting to know me. The mask helped him come out a little
come
bit.
out of his shell and
then so by the end of the day we're best friends.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you too, or we have one more picture that we're gonna look at. This is this looks like a posed picture. Like, did you guys have to take Because I don't think this is from the video. It looks like it's just like something that you guys took for.
I think it is from the video. I'm not sure, but
Well, I love this picture because you guys
know.
both are like, oh, look out. I was gonna ask you though, back to like the 50s portion of the video, because that whole piece where you're both talking, you got that dialogue. Was that something that took a long time to film? Like, did you have to do several takes of that?
You know what? I actually did not have to do several takes, and I'm so glad that you asked me about this, because a lot of people do not know that that's me as well. They think it's a different girl. So I'm like, okay, if you think that's a different girl, then I did what I was supposed to do. And that whole personality that I put on, that was all me. That was all conjured up in my head as far as like how I should betray her at that time. And so I have a funny story about that too.
Yes.
So, the part where when Mike was saying, I'm not like other guys, right? And he's giving me the ring. And then I have to reach up and kiss him. So I asked Michael before we shot that part, I'm like, so where do you want me to kiss you? And he was like, I don't know. Where do you want to kiss me? I said, well, I haven't decided yet. And so when we actually shot that part, I just reached up and kissed him on the cheek. It was so funny. That's why we were laughing about that too, because we had our own little inside jokes as we were filming.
Right. Yeah. Especially like spending all that time together and like being in the role of boyfriend and girlfriend, you do kind of like.
Yeah, I had to figure out how to play it because I knew the girls from back in the 50s, they were shy. They weren't really, they wouldn't have kissed him on his lips.
Right,
So
right.
I wanted to incorporate everything I would think that, that would portray that part of being, a girl from the 50s.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I feel like all of us Michael Jackson fans, we know all the lines like that you came up with. Like because it's just so memorable the way that you portrayed both of those parts. Yeah. And tell me also about how Michael was when you were filming the parts where he was singing, because there was a part where you're walking and you have to keep like that certain pace, and Michael is like dancing around you kind of and singing. Was he singing live? Even though there was a track?
Yeah, he was definitely singing live. And oh my God, I just felt like I was the luckiest girl in the world having Michael Jackson flirt and dance and sing around me. So that's how come you see the smile that's on my face. When, of course, at first we started coming out of the movie theater. So I was supposed to act like I was a little upset with him, right? So we had to do that scene, but then once he started singing, it was like, okay, let's do this. And so that's when that smile came on my face, and I was like, okay, I'm in heaven.
So that smile was very real.
That was so real with him dancing around me. I'll never, ever forget that. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do anything else in life, the fact that Michael Jackson danced and sang to me, I'm good.
Oh yes, of course.
I'm good.
Even just telling me the story is giving me the chills, because I'm like, in my mind, I always looked at him in that scene and I'm like, he has to be singing. But then I'm like, well, it's a track. Maybe he was just
definitely singing.
Okay, now I'm like, let me get back to my line of my questions, because I'm like, now I'm like daydreaming about what it would have been like to be in that moment.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's so funny, because I really now am like blank. Like, how do I follow that up? Okay, so I think we could go to another video clip, because I have another clip of you guys behind the scenes, and I want to talk to you more about like the rehearsal part.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
You're going too fast. You're going too fast.
I guess because we listening to the music.
You are going to be dancing together. And the other, Michael, look, I never want you further, let's stand still. I never want you further away from her than this.
Okay.
See what's happening? You're getting way out of here.
Okay.
You should always keep, just keep that circle around her. Okay? So we'll just try it once more.
Easy for you to say.
Very easy. Watch this. Go ahead.
No, I love working.
The scene with Michael and Ola, with the long dolly, where they go along and sing, we rehearsed that very briefly and very loosely. We did it like 4 or 5 times just to establish the beat, so that as long as Ola kept the beat, we could always come back to it. And Michael was left pretty much alone. What I wanted to exploit there was the excitement of Michael Jackson.
Ola, when you watch that, what comes to mind?
Oh my God, I was in heaven. I mean, that was like the first day of rehearsals. And so I remember I was walking a little bit too fast to the beat. And John had told me he wanted me to slow it down a little bit. And so I'm like, okay. And I just remember Michael acting so silly, running back and forth and doing all what he was doing. But that was him. I mean, Michael had so much joy. He had so much peace and everything in his life at that time, you know.
Yeah, I think I what I find interesting about Michael Jackson is not only was he like this professional on set, but he
Yeah.
also knew how to have fun, but also knew how to like be a businessman and handle that side as well. It seemed like he was multifaceted, but that, like you said, he did
He
have
was
a lot of joy.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we were when I was watching them do the Thriller dance, he would like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So he was like, okay, we're going to keep doing it, even though they were doing it perfectly.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just wanted to keep doing it to make sure. But yeah.
And was he ever like that with you? Like, was there ever a point where he was like, "Oh, do it this way or that
No.
way"? He kind of let you just.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So did Michael ever like surprise you with anything or do anything unexpected on set that you want to share? I know a lot of this must be like personal
Well,
memories.
you know
but-
what? You guys need to read the book.
Yes.
I know.
Yes, good point. Okay.
Because there are some things that Michael and I shared
Yes.
behind the scenes. Some quiet time between him and I.
Yes.
So, but
Read the book.
we're not talking about that right now.
Okay. Read the book, everyone. The book is amazing. And we are going to talk about this a little bit later too, but it's such a good read. And Ola shares so many words of wisdom beyond Thriller. Like it's a really good read. So
Thank you.
yes, I want everyone to go and order. And we're going to link it in the show notes and the Amazon link and where other places that you can buy it too in the description box. So go and order your copy. So I did want to also talk to you about the fact, and everybody knows that Thriller has broken so many records and it is regarded as the best music video and short film of all time. But I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the fact that at this point, Michael was breaking racial barriers on MTV as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so powerful at that time to see not only Michael, but also you too on the screen with that chemistry. And how do you reflect back on that time too? Like knowing that you're part of this video that helped to break that barrier.
I mean, I think that I was in the right place at the right time, and it was all in God's plan for me to be that girl for what He's preparing me to do today. But of course, it was very special. It was like one of the first Black videos that was ever on MTV. I think I was in Germany at the time when it came out, and yeah, it was. It was also like the first 14-minute
Yes, the length
video.
of it.
Yeah. So it was a short film. Actually, it's called a theatrical film. So it's not a video.
Yes. And Michael would tell us.
Theatrical release.
Right, yeah. And it actually was. I want to talk to you too about November 14th, 1983 is when Thriller was shown to a private audience at the Crest Theater in Los Angeles. In attendance were celebrities like Diana Ross, Warren Beatty, Prince, Eddie Murphy, what do you? And I think Michael might have also been there too, but there's no pictures or anything.
We were there. This is the premiere, right?
Yes, the premiere. I wanted to ask you because I never see any pictures online or anything about
You know what?
that.
I haven't either, and I thought I looked so good that night. No, I'm just,
I was gonna say I would love
I'm
to have
just
shown the
joking.
picture.
But I went and picked out. I thought the perfect outfit. I had like this suede outfit that was all ripped, right?
Mhm.
And it was the skirt, and it was all ripped at the bottom. And Michael hadn't seen me dressed because every day I would go on to the set. I'm in tennis shoes.
Mhm.
I'm in sweats.
Right.
This is how I go to work.
Mhm.
But so that day it was so surreal when we were in there, and after everyone had saw it, everyone jumped up and started clapping, and encore, Eddie, encore, play it again, and I'm looking around and I'm like, where's Michael?
Mhm.
Because I don't see him either. And I'm like looking for him. And something told me, just, let's go find him.
Okay.
And I knew exactly where to find him. So I got up from my seat and I walked around. And there was a staircase leading to the top of the theater to the projection room.
Oh.
And I went and knocked on the door. And Nico answers it. It's
Oh.
John Brando's son.
Yes, Marlon Brando.
Yes, they were hanging out all the time, and so I walk in there, and then Michael pops out. I'm like, Michael, why aren't you downstairs? He said, no, Ola. He said, this is your time. He said, tonight is for you. He said, don't worry about me. I'm good. He said, I'm up here. I'm watching everybody,
Wow.
from the top. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. He said, tonight's your night. He said, you go and have a good time. We hugged and kissed. And I'm like, okay, bye.
Oh my gosh. So he was just like he was watching to see what everybody thought of it.
Yeah.
From afar. Wow.
And then I don't think Michael really wanted to be down in the crowd with, talking to
Yeah.
people and everything like that. He's,
Right.
he didn't like doing that type of thing.
I
He's like the behind the scenes type guy.
was gonna say I
I'm
heard
like,
that he liked to go places in disguise and be incognito and just like
it's not like
people watch.
he's not the type of guy that doesn't want to get up in your face and have a lot of people around him celebrating him. He's been in the business since he was a little kid. He's had probably enough of that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And then to think that he went on for like 20, 30 more years after that is like amazing. All right, Ola. So let's talk about life after Thriller. So tell me, what was life like after Thriller?
It was so crazy. I was not prepared. I had no idea what was about to happen to me. I had to move because I had people knocking on my door, saying that they, asking me if I was who I was, and how they had flew in from across the world, and they want to meet me and they want my autograph, and so this went on for a while, and then I had once I moved, that's when all the groupies started to come, and so a lot of A-listers, entertainers,
Mhm.
all crowded my house and all day and night and wouldn't let me sleep. So all of this was going on. And then, of course, they brought a little party favors. And I'm like, oh, my God. And so basically it was like, I was made to feel like if I wanted to be around them, this is what they were doing. This is what everybody's doing. This is something I got to do, like, to fit in type situation.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's okay for me to talk about it now because I can look back and know exactly what it was,
Mhm.
because I think it's really important. A lot of things that happened to me that I want to talk about
Yeah.
is a stigma in Hollywood. Like if you're going to be a famous entertainer that, you have to do these type of things. Okay.
Right.
But it's all a lie. So anyway, we'll get to that part.
Yeah. No, I was gonna. Well, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up because a lot of people think about just the the glamorous side, but then there's
Right.
also that dark side that I feel like a lot of people try to get lured into, they get lured into it.
Exactly. And so, I had no clue what was going on. So anyway, so that happens. And then some other things happen that I don't really want to talk about. But um the Me Too, I had to deal with that. I had to deal with producers and directors basically telling me if I didn't do what they wanted me to do, you know, I
Right, like
wasn't
that
gonna.
ultimatum kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, I found myself. I remember one time I talk about it in the book. I went to a party
Mhm.
and I was told it was going to be a lot of producers and directors there.
Right.
So when I go there, yes, I see all the biggest producers and directors in town. And it was almost kind of like a Illuminati type situation. So anyway, I was told, okay, someone wants to talk to you. Go in the back. They're in the back. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean they're in the back? And they're like, well, he just wants to meet you. And can you, go to the back so he can introduce himself. So I go back there and this guy is laying in the room with no clothes on, stroking himself, telling me, "Well, you're in the big leagues now, and since you're in the big leagues, in order for you to get more roles or whatever, I
Mhm.
can put you in every movie that me and my partner does, as long as you perform such and such and such an act." And you know, I'm like, I was so freaked out because I
Right.
was young then, and for someone to tell me something like that, I mean, it was very disheartening, and so I mean, when I left the room and I went out to where everyone else was, when I opened the door, they were all staring at me like they knew what was going on, and that like they were waiting to see what my reaction was.
Mhm.
So,
So it almost like kept
like,
secret
it was
amongst.
like a Illuminati type party. It was like
Right.
initiation
I was
type
just thinking of that.
situation.
But like
Yeah.
I didn't like it must have I didn't realize it was so common until the Me Too movement happened. Like I had no, cuz I don't know. I've never been in the business myself,
Yeah.
but to hear all those stories, it's just so sad what women have had to go through.
Right. I never would imagine that um this was what it would be like. Because when I was in Tokyo, I mean, I did my job. I got paid afterwards.
Right.
It was never a problem.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, they play a different type of game here. And
Yes.
so anyway, I talk about it in my book, and I just, after not being able to get work, and it became very difficult for me. Um, I try to commit, um, and so end up having the police break down my door, drag me
Yes.
down the corridor. They dragged me because I woke up for a minute being dragged down the freaking corridor, and then they threw me into the ambulance. But um, and then they held me in the hospital for like, I don't know, a couple of months or whatever. They told me they weren't gonna let me out until I talked about what was going on and what was, why did I do it? And I
Right.
didn't want to talk to him about it at first, like, because I was thinking they'll never understand, you know. But eventually, I started talking to them about it and letting them know, how I had reached this success
Mhm.
only to be let down and um, not taken care of by
Right.
the people that honored and said that they would take care of me. And basically, I felt like I was being left out in the cold
Yeah.
after what I contribute, and it's like that was really hard for me. And then also the fact that the directors and producers are telling me I'm gonna have to perform these things, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sell my soul. So I was willing to take myself out instead of doing that. But
Right.
um, it's okay. God had other plans.
Yeah.
God had other plans. He wasn't letting me go nowhere. So, but then okay, so it was like so many things happened to me back to back to back to back. It was like that, and then what else? Oh, I had a car bombing.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
beaten and thrown into a basement and kidnapped. There was so many. You guys got to read the book.
Yes, you have been through so much. I wanted to ask you. Okay, so tell us about the book because the book has all of these
Things, yeah,
stories
these
and
stories.
more.
Yeah.
Your book, The Thrill of It All. So this is not only about your time working in Hollywood, but excuse me, with Michael, but beyond. It talks about your time in Hollywood and after that. Tell
It
us,
talks.
yeah, tell us more.
It talks about my childhood and my humble
Yes.
beginnings, and yeah, and during the process of all that, my dad died. So yeah. So anyway, in the book, I talk about how it was with me as a child, and then from there going to Tokyo, doing what I did there. Coming back here, I talk about my experience in the time I was with Michael, and then I talk about all the things that happened to me after Thriller, and that's why I wrote this book because no one ever told me. You know what I'm saying? I was going blind. I had no idea the entertainment industry was like this. But that's why I wrote it because I want to make sure if there are anybody out there that are inspiring that want to be in the entertainment industry, I just want to let them know about the pitfalls because there are a whole lot of them. You know, I want their eyes to be open. And also, it was very cathartic for me because I had to cleanse, I had to pray, I had to, I had to write everything that happened to me so I can get it out, and so I can reclaim my strength and yeah, I just for the past I don't know how many years I have kind of stepped away from the industry because I had to reconnect with God and reconnect with myself. And so what I was been doing a lot of is going and speaking out to people that regarding addiction or people involved in domestic violence. You know, just trying to give people a little hope and but I kind of feel like my life I've been in the wilderness. I feel like God has kind of pulled me to the side, and He's only strengthening me, getting me ready, and preparing me for what He needs me to do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with me doing this interview with you, because He's like basically saying to me, "Ola, okay, it's time. You need to go out. You need to talk to people. You need to tell them about everything that you've been through because they need to know who saved you." And
Yes.
it was only through the grace of God,
Yes.
because every time I got into a situation, I prayed myself out of it, you
Wow.
know? I was like, okay, I'm in this basement, but I'm not going to be here, for that long. And I just, every time I went through something, I trusted in God. I believed in Him. I have faith and I prayed a lot. I still do.
Yes. Well, your story is so, so powerful. And I have to thank you for it because a lot of people will come to your book interested because they will know you from Thriller, but there's so much value in what you share. And I feel like it's not even just about the entertainment industry, it's life lessons that people
Yes,
can take away.
exactly.
And it's so important that you share these things because a lot of people don't talk about it.
Right.
Either they're scared to talk about it or it's too much. And I know it must have been, like you said, cathartic and healing, but also difficult to go back to some of those darker times,
Yes,
right?
because I had to relive the whole time I'm writing it, I had to relive it in my head again. And this is when I got really close and started talking to my Holy Spirit. And I would pray and ask the Holy Spirit, I'm like, okay, I got to write this chapter. Help me bring it to me, show it to me, and help me get through it. And I would start writing, and the pen would just go. And I'll read back later, and I'm like, okay, thank you. That's exactly what I needed to tell.
Mm. Well, I've been blown away by the stories that you shared and
Thank
I really
you.
loved it. And again, we're gonna put the link to it in the description box. I want to ask you what is one thing that people that might not know much about you get wrong about you? What's a misconception?
Um, I think one of the misconceptions is people think I'm maybe not intelligent or not as smart as they think I am, or that I am naive. Now, I admit at one point in my life, especially in the earlier part, being in the industry, I was a little naive, of course, but
But aren't we all though in our
yeah,
20s and
I
stuff?
guess, but so I think that's what it is. A lot of people think, that yeah, that I don't really know what's going on, or
Right.
I don't tend to really want to talk about a lot of things that.
But if they read the book, that you will get a
Yeah,
much big.
because I do talk about it in the book.
Yes, yes,
I know
yes.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes,
Right.
I know, and I'm not going to
I'm
spoil
trying
it.
not to talk about it.
I know.
And we're not going to talk about it.
No.
But yes, everything is in the book.
Yes, people. If really, it's a great book. I think it's worth the read. They even have it on Kindle, which is like my book of choice. Like I like to do the e-reader because you can read it on your phone or wherever. So, I want to ask you though, because I know you do mention this in your book, but if someone's just listening to this and they want to get into Hollywood and they want to break in, what's one tip or one thing that you think is important for them to know?
Okay, well, I know there are like a lot of different avenues now. A lot of people go online to do get their jobs, like with Backstage or some other project casting or whatever. Those are good ways, but it's the best way for me, I think, is to have an agent, because then you have someone to send you out, and they know who you're being sent out to. I do not suggest anybody looking in the newspaper and going out, because I did that. As a matter of fact, my first interview that I had when I came to LA, I looked in the newspaper and I went out, and that was a really, really bad experience. And I wrote that as well in the book. But yes, the best way is to have a agent and represent you. And if you happen to end up doing a big film or a big project, I suggest highly that you retain a lawyer.
Right, yes.
You need to have a lawyer in place, because if not, I'm telling you, the greed is so real. The greed and the deception in this business is so real.
It happens.
I mean, but I don't understand it. It's like, it's enough for everybody, It's enough to go around. Come on now.
Definitely. Especially now with like this digital age and stuff. Like, come on. Yeah. I want to show everybody one more picture, which I love. It's a beautiful picture of you at Michael's Star.
Oh. Oh.
I just love this picture, and I guess I just want to know, like, because we've had such a great conversation, and I want to thank you again for being here today. But in closing, like, what's something that you want people to know about Michael that that you feel like people should know, or that you haven't gotten a chance to say?
I just want people to know that he was everything that anybody would ever think of him to be. He was that guy, and I loved him. I think, he loved me, and he loved his fans so much.
Oh.
And yeah.
Whenever I hear someone that actually knew Michael and spent time with him say that he loved his fans, it always makes me like feel like, oh,
yeah, so
'cause-
much.
Yeah. Oh.
But with this picture,
Yes, tell us.
it was the night of the premiere for Thriller and 3D.
Okay.
And it was at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. And as you can see, I'm looking fabulous in that red dress.
Yeah.
But I'm just joking.
No, what you do,
I'm
though.
just
Like,
joking,
come
you
on.
guys. I like to joke. But anyway, this picture for me represents the fact that I went through everything that I went through. And God, I could have ended up like Michael, Whitney, or Prince, okay?
Yeah.
But God chose to save my life. And so for me, this is the after shot of me having to go through everything that I've been through, and to see how good God had brought me through it.
Yeah.
Looking like $1 million.
Yeah. No, but that's so real because yeah, I mean, thinking about looking back at so many of the videos and Michael's not here anymore, and I feel like that's just so hard. It's bittersweet, right? To yes, we appreciate the music and the videos and so much of what he gave to the world, but it's like gone really way too soon.
Yeah. I mean, I have a big picture of him in my home, and I look at him every day.
No.
And I don't know. I still feel like we have this special connection. When he passed, he came to me 3 days after he passed, and from there he shared his whole passing with me.
Like in a dream or something.
Yeah, in my dreams, he came to me, and then he kept coming back to me, showing me where his resting place was, showing me when he got his wings in heaven, showing me where he lives in heaven. I mean, he was really just showing me every aspect of his passing. So it's in the book.
Yes.
Girl, that is too weird.
Oh,
And so he just
gosh.
kept coming back to me. It's so silly.
That connection. Oh my gosh.
He's flying around my head. Look at me. Oh, I got my wings. I got my wings.
That's so sweet. Oh.
Yeah, but we had definitely a strong connection to the point where, he felt like he can come back and show me all that.
Yeah. I mean, I have just loved being able to chat with you today and reflect on some of these memories.
Yeah, I haven't talked about this in such a long time. I mean, the 40th anniversary came and I just broke down because it was like, wow, Michael's not here to celebrate it with me.
Yeah.
And so I have not been able to do any interviews because, thinking that I might break down.
Right.
And I didn't want to break down. And so, because, I mean, everything is still really open for me. I mean, I know it's been like all these years, but it's a lot of things that has happened and that are still happening with regards to him. And so it's like it's still open.
Right. Well, I'm grateful that you trusted me with one of your first interviews in a long time because this is definitely a dream come true for me. I know that I'm one of millions of the little girls out there, kids out there that watch this video and really were touched by it and continue to like watch it. Not only on Halloween, people, I watch Thriller all the time. Like it's just something that always sticks out in my mind. And now that before I let you go, because now I'm thinking about the video again. Do you ever go back to the spots where you filmed? Because they're right here in LA.
Yeah, I've went back a couple of times with people wanting to do interviews with me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've gone back, but what I don't do is watch the video.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it why? It's just too emotional.
Too emotional.
Watching the making brought a little bit of joy.
Oh,
though.
the making, it was always
okay.
I love the making.
Yeah.
That takes me back to the day, to the day when it all began. Now, I mean, even watching parts of the video with you is fine too. Yeah. But I won't personally just sit at home and by myself or whatever.
And
watch
it.
I won't do it like that.
Okay.
I'll do it like this.
Okay. Yeah.
But that brought me joy.
Oh, good. I'm glad because I feel like your role was and continues to be very iconic. Like it's just
thank you.
The Thriller video is not the Thriller video without you, Ola. So
thank you so much.
I just have to say on behalf of fans like myself, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. And I'm so glad you're with us and telling your story and sharing so much of so many life lessons and words of wisdom for people out there.
I will continue to try.
Yes. Well, everybody, definitely go and get Ola's book, The Thrill of It All. It is available not only on her website, but it's on website has all the links, right? Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
But if anybody wants to contact me, they can contact me through the olaray.com, my website. Also, I wanted to make an announcement.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
So, special announcement? Yes, tell us.
So, I am producing a show called Thriller Nights, and I'm going to be interviewing film directors horror film directors so they can give us the scoop on what goes on behind the scenes and, just tell us a little bit about how they made you scream. And so it's going to be really fun. We're going to try to get as many of the best horror film directors and producers out there, and we're going to just have a little fun.
That is
So be looking for it. It's coming out, not coming out soon. We're shooting it. So
yes. Oh my gosh. Please do let me know when it comes out and I'll tell
course,
everybody.
of course.
That is so fun.
yeah.
I'm really excited to hear that.
Thank you.
Yes. And also, like, let us know, like, if you're, because I know sometimes you do events and stuff too. Can they find out about that on your website?
On my website, you go to my
Okay.
website and you can see I always post, when I do my little events, normally around Halloween, people contact me and they want me to come out and do a little autograph session. So, it's always really fun for me because I get a chance to meet my fans. I love talking to them. They tell me their stories and everything. So for me, it always makes me feel good.
Awesome. Well, Ola, it has been a pleasure. This is like a dream come true for me. I never thought that I would be sitting here with you. So thank
Aw.
you again.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see you again soon, talk to you again soon.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this awesome episode with Ola Ray, and make sure that you go and get her book. Also, make sure that you're following the show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and joining the Patreon to help support the show. It's only $4.99 a month, and why not help support the cause? All right, thank you guys so much again, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.